So in this video, you're going to see how once your students have put in the code, how you add them to your Apple Classroom, and then some of the features you'll have available now that you have students in your class. So once the students have entered the code, you'll see them popping up on this white pop-up screen, and you'll click Add to add them to your class. I only have 2 students I'm adding, but you would add all of your student iPads so that you would see more little icons on your dashboard than I see. So here I want to show you a couple of the options you have. The first one on this toolbar at the top, it's the app icon, and so when I click on it, I can launch an app for my students on their iPads. One of the tricks is at the bottom here it says lock in app after opening, so I'm looking at right here. If you turn this on before you launch the app, the students will be locked into that app and only able to work in that app. So if I want them working on, I don't know, I'm just going to say Doodle Buddy, I'm going to turn on the lock, launch Doodle Buddy, and you can launch it without locking it, but sometimes it's nice to be able to lock them into it so that you know what they're working on. And what's happening on my student iPads is that screen is opening for Doodle Buddy, and they are locked into it and they can't get out of it. I can use this screen button to see what their screens look like. And so if I'm on one of my iPads and I'm going to paint, let me pick a paint. I can even see what they're drawing on their iPads. When I'm ready to unlock them and release them from this app, I'm going to use the lock icon. And I'm going to unlock all my iPads, and it says it's unlocking them. So now my kids are able to navigate again to other apps. The navigate button lets you go to bookmarks in Safari. So if you had a website bookmarked, and you do have to add it to favorites or bookmark it prior to this, to navigating there, so it's already in your bookmarks. So if you know there's a site that you want your students to go to, you'll add it as a bookmark in Safari. Then you can come here, click on Safari. Again, you have the option to lock them into this site, and so you would want to turn this on if you want to do that, or you can leave it off if you're not worried about it. You'll click favorites. I added grade 1 math demo, and so now my student iPads, you can see, have the demo popped up on them and they're working in that demo. I can also lock their iPads, and so say I needed to give them some instructions and I want them to stop working for a minute. You can see that both of the screens on these iPads have a big lock on them. That's what the kids are seeing on their iPad. They cannot do anything until you unlock their iPad. So this is a good way to get the attention of the room if you need to give them some instructions. And then you can use the unlock to unlock the iPads. So that's a nice way to manage. The mute button lets you mute the iPads. So say they're working on an app that has really loud music, you can mute them so it's not disrupting the class. And you can also unmute those iPads when you're ready. All of those functions that we just went through, you can do individually by just clicking on the student's iPad. So I can lock it, I can put them in an app, I can do all those things we just did to the whole class, to an individual student. Another feature I'm going to show you real quickly is the group feature. So if I have reading groups or stations, I could put the kids in groups so that they can be doing different things, and I can be monitoring those things from my iPad. So using the group plus button, I can name my group. It's just going to be the red group. And I'm going to then click on the students that I want to be in the red group. So potentially you might have 20 kids or 20 iPads in here, so maybe you put several in the red group. And then once you've added them, you're going to click the Done button at the top. Now I can use these features for just the red group, And if I had another group, I could send an app or a website to that is different to the other group. So grouping kids allows you to have the students working on different things based on what group they're in. So if your groups change or you're ready to delete your groups, if you tap and hold that group, it lets you remove it, and then the students are not in the group anymore. So I hope you find this helpful. Those are just some of the features that you can that can help you manage your iPads in your classroom. I'm also going to link to some additional features on this website as well, but it would show you how to share a document or how students can share work with you. So there's other things you can do, but those are some just basics that I think might help you manage the iPads in your classroom. So I hope you find this helpful.